in 3,000 FOI requests ahead of these elections. Right? So we've been preparing for this for a long, long time. I simply can't believe the money that's being spent on consultants. I can't believe the money that's being spent on agency workers. I can't believe areas like climate change or teeth brushing, or these are all areas where council tax money, payers' money is being spent that I don't think is the remit of a local council. So, two things we'd do. Number one, get councils doing less. Focus on the primary goals of what a county council or unitary authority is for by not getting involved in all these other things. Secondly, send in the auditors. You know, let's find out. I mean, I'm sort of talking about a Doge for every county, if you like, using the American
Elon
example.
Musk's Doge.
Yeah, no, I think there is a lot of wasteful spending and a lot of complacency and a lot of people being paid a lot of money working for councils where debt's being racked up and getting worse.
So you would find out what are the key issues voters want, potholes being fixed, bins being emptied, and then ditch stuff that you don't think is non-core.
Ditch stuff that I don't think county council should be getting involved with at all. So slimmer government, leaner government, oh, and while I'm at it, different culture. Work from home? Nah, not under us.
But if you get power at local level, that's a big deal for your party. You've never had it really before, making difficult, unpopular choices.
Well, I mean, there is some truth in that, but we're ready for it.
Would you do local deals with the Tories to run local services?
Well, you're all obsessed with this.
Well, because it happens. That's the deal.
This is the Westminster obsession. I mean, look, we do a deal with independents or whoever. All I can say is, there's to do a deal with anybody, we would demand very tough terms. And those tough terms would be, as I've said already, big cuts in spending, cuts in staffing, and cuts in terms of the areas that council involves itself in. And if other parties are prepared to go in with us on that basis, then yeah, we'd be grown-ups.
And would local arrangements with Conservatives in councils be a model for maybe cooperation post-general election?
Absolutely not.
Coalition with the Tories? Or
the Tories won't exist at the time of the next election.
Okay.
I mean, what you're going to see from the 2021 vote is a lot of old Conservative voters come to us, and a chunk go to the Lib Dems as well. I honestly, I know they've been here since 1832. I don't believe there'll be an electoral force at the next election.
Moving on to other issues today, Tony Blair has said that the current net zero push by the Labour government is doomed to fail. You're grinning for listeners.
I've been saying that 10 years. I mean, actually, net zero, this debate on net zero, is something Reform are leading the way on. Even the Conservatives have said, oh, well, we're not so sure about net zero now, although they've written it into law during the last couple of
without
months.
a vote of Commons.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Blair, it's a very interesting move from Blair. Very, very interesting move. And, of course, he's right.
On Donald Trump, have you sent him a congratulatory note about his 100 days?
No, I haven't.
You haven't been in touch at all since he...
I said before, you've got a British government involved in trade negotiations. If I'm seen to be interfering from the sidelines, that would look terrible.
I sense, are you disengaging from Trump a bit? Is it that you've seen the support, the popularity of Mark Carney when he defined himself against Trump? And, of course, he's a bête noire for you in terms of politics. Is there ground to be gained now for Reform and for you for disengaging with where Trump is?
Quite why Trump's come out with his 51st State of America stuff with Canada, I have no idea. I've always said that our interests with Trump are similar but not symmetrical. And I still believe this is a pro-British American president who wants to do a full trade deal with us, but I worry that Starmer's reset with the EU is going to make that impossible.
That's coming up next month. So are you disengaging from Trump?
No, I'm not disengaging. I'm not disengaging, but I cannot be seen to interfere. If the Labour Party ring me up and say, go and see him and try and help with the trade deal, I go and do it. But if I interfere now, I'll be called all the names under the sun.
Nigel Farage, we'll see you after voting on Friday. Thank you for joining us today on GB News.
So that interview was part of a series in the build-up to the local elections. GB News political editor Christopher Hope has spoken to Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer several times during the campaign, including on Monday. He's also spoken to Sir Ed Davey yesterday, and we will be airing an interview with Kemi Badenoch later at 7 o'clock. And just to remind you, the 15 candidates running in the Runcorn and Helsby by-election are as follows. Catherine Ann Blakelock, the English Democrats; Dan Clark, the Liberal Party; Chris Copeman, the Green Party; Paul Duffy, Liberal Democrats; Peter Ford, Workers' Party, Howling Lord Hope, the monster raving Looney Party, Sean Hulston, the Conservatives, Jason Phillips Hughes, Volt UK, Alan Mackay, Independent, Graham Harry Moore, English Constitution Party, Paul Andrew Murphy, the Social Democratic Party, Sarah Potchen, Reform, Karen Shaw, Labour, John Stevens, Rejoin EU, Michael Williams, Independent. Well, with me in the studio is GB News' political editor Christopher Hope, GB News senior political commentator Nigel Nelson, and former MP Lloyd Russell Moyle. OK, Christopher Hope, I'm going to start with you. What did you make of that?
Fascinating talking to Nigel Farage on the eve of this election tomorrow and how he should be emerging as the big winner on Friday, we expect, judging by the polls. He's saying there how the winter fuel allowance is a big problem for Labour. Even though it's warm weather outside, people do think, why on earth did this government punish pensioners, all pensioners, so soon into their time in office? How was that really thought through? Plans for a Doge-style unit, that's a Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk type of operation, send in the experts and strip out non-core spending in councils. That's the first, I think, interesting idea of what he'll do with power, because so far he's been a campaigner against power. These elections could give him power, footholds across the country, and how he uses that is fascinating. And when you start making choices on spending, you lose support as well, and that's why that might cost him. Also, I think, interesting on the Tory party, he says it won't exist by the next election. Well, we'll wait and see on that. They've been written off enough times, notably back in 1997. We all remember that, off that Blair landslide. And also disengaging with Donald Trump. I do think we are hearing a different Nigel Farage since January. He hasn't spoken to Trump at all in the White House, or anyone in the White House, he tells us. He stands ready to help, if asked to, by Sir Keir Starmer. But again, criticising him there on the 51st state, this attempt to take over Canada by Trump. That's a mistake. He says we are similar but not symmetrical with our policies. Maybe he's reading the room on Trump. Trump is not popular in the UK, and he wants to be popular in the UK himself, Farage. So maybe he's doing things that way.